Hey MEPM, welcome back to yet another episode of Midweek Update.
In today's episode, we'll take a look at the culture of hip-hop, a teen boy who received a fearful diagnosis, a brand new Who Is That, and our final senior interview of the 2024 school year.
This and more on this week's Midweek Update. I'm Melanie Arcos.
And I'm Christina Pena, and welcome back to Midweek Update, the BMB show that brings you closer to the people and places in and around the MEPM community.
Tina, with final exams coming up really soon, I need to ask you something.
If it's about music recommendations for studying, I read your mind.
How did you...
And no, I have no recommendations. The music I listen to isn't really suited for studying.
I'm taking that your taste is mostly hip-hop. And actually, I know someone else who's really into hip-hop and its culture.
Something more than the scratching and spinning of records is sampling, a profound art in the music-making process.
A sample would be taking a piece of a song and reworking it to make a new song.
Guido Yepes, an audio engineer who grew up around the birth of hip-hop, reflects on the first time he heard somebody sample a song.
The way it changed for me was, I discovered hip-hop, and hip-hop was a genre based on sampling. The Grandmaster Flash looped 2 records to rock a party. And so he used a drum beat and just kept looping it. And that's how, hip hop was pretty much started.
Famous DJ Hector Romero, who started DJing when he was only 13 years old, was always fascinated by the art of sampling.
I want to learn about where that sample came from. What year did the original come out? Who produced the original? It's part of our craft as a DJ. You have to know your music, even in that detail.
Romero loves to use songs with samples to get his crowd going during his sets when he's performing for bigger crowds in bigger events.
In my experience in the club music that I play, sampling is a crucial part, and it's almost like an art form for the producer to sample and how they craft that sample and manipulate that sample and to work it into their production.
The art and culture of sampling is still widely recognized and appreciated today, even amongst teenagers.
I feel like it shows your creative views on things, how you can switch it up and change it, because it can bring you back old styles and old things and change it up a little.
Right. The art of sampling has truly changed the way artists produce songs and has left a huge impact on the music we listen to today.
Like Kanye West switched it up to be through the wire to fit his song. So there's a lot of good instances of it that just improve on the song.
For BMB, I'm Luke Yepes.
I can't believe I didn't know about all of that. It's so interesting.
It solidified me for that music is really an art form, like different genres being different mediums.
That's the most reasonable thing you've ever said, Mel. And I have to say, if music's an art form, it's my favorite form.
Well, don't say that just yet, because I'm sure there's somewhere you can go to check out different types of art.
Yeah, like a museum, but I don't want to travel.
Well, lucky for you, because my Passanisi is here to tell us somewhere about super local where you can see art.
Tonight, after school, the art department will hold the annual art show, celebrating the work of MEPM's talented artists that were created throughout the school year. Friends and family are encouraged to tour all of the creative pieces of art displayed. Not only that, but the show will be broadcasted live to the world here on the BMB YouTube channel. In fact, the art show will be the last live stream event covered by BMB this year, signaling an end to an era. It'll be the last opportunity for us BMB underclassmen to work on a shoot together with the current BMB seniors, so we'll be sure to make every second count. As for me, I know I can't wait to see what my artistically inclined friends have been working on all year. Reporting for BMB, I'm Maya Passanisi.
Mel, when you said local, I did not think you meant that the cool art would be displayed here.
Well, what can I say? The art show here is really bringing people around and to come see the pieces.
Yeah, it's great seeing families come together to celebrate each other, but it's also important for them all to support each other in hard times.
especially when it comes to difficult news being delivered, like when a young teen and his family were all giving his fearful diagnosis.
I mean, at that point, I was completely panicked. I didn't know if I had just watched, my son die in front of me. And
these are words that no mother even wants to think about. However, due to a subdural hematoma, this nightmare became a reality for Tyler Steinberg and his family.
2 weeks after I had this pretty bad headache, it was a Thursday, I want to say, and we went to a neurologist, and she told us basically that it's just a bad headache, and we want to monitor this migraine. And frankly, we didn't believe that. My mother especially was very verbal about what the whole, about the situation. So she insisted that we get an MRI. And then I finally got moved to my room. My surgery was Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday was them making sure that everything's all right, normal, the surgery went well, all that stuff. And then I got released midday Monday, and I was home. So
Tyler's predicament was serious, with his condition only having a 5-year survival rate of 26.7%. Even those who survive often face complications like strokes, seizures, loss of brain function, and sometimes even death. But despite the various experts working on the case, the cause of it is yet to be discovered.
it wasn't an old brain bleed. It was because it would have been jelly-like, he said, the blood that was in there. If it was old, it would have been like a pudding, and it was fresh. So whatever it is that happened within the last 2 weeks that it happened. And there was nothing. He didn't get hit with a ball. He didn't have any sort of accident, so we didn't know what the heck it was.
No matter the cause, the surgery and diagnosis placed a heavy burden not only on Tyler, but his family as well.
We were terrified. There's no words that can explain how you feel when you're hearing this about your kid, and you're helpless because all you want to do is protect your kid. I would trade places with him in a heartbeat. I'd rather it be me than him.
In order to support his parents in his own manner, Tyler had to be strong and deal with it the only way he knew how to.
And he was like, you've done this before, right, Doc? And he's like, a couple of thousand times. He's like, all right, well, we're good then. Like, he wasn't even, I was a wreck. His father was a wreck. And he was just like, all right, we're good.
In addition to staying strong, Tyler has been able to excel in various realms of his life and accomplish many exceptional things.
I mean, of course, with broadcasting itself, I've won awards. I've won a Silver Broadcast Excellence. I'm one of the best student-ran sports shows that there is, around the world, which is something that I'm very proud to say. I also have many other things. I've made many good news stories, news packages. I've obviously directed and produced a bunch of different live sporting events, which I'm very proud of, which could possibly win awards in the future. I've also won things like a Pirate Treasure Award, where I have made a big impact on the community around me, especially my high school community. So I've gotten awards for that. But overall, I like to think my biggest award is just being able to show up every day with the people that I love to be around with, whether it's my family, my friends, and just do the things that I love to do, like playing sports, of course, and being part of such an amazing program. So,
wow, that makes me really thankful for all the people I have in my life to support me.
Me too, Mel. From family members to school staff, there are so many people who want the best for us.
Which is exactly why it's important to shine a light on those who always don't get the recognition for everything that they do.
Since we're on the topic, let's take a look at the new Who Is That? About a very important MEPM staff member.
Thanks, guys. I'm currently standing outside of the Learning Center, and I'm here to introduce you to Mr. Ramsaroop, a substitute teacher and JV coach that was new to MEPM this school year. One thing he loves about working at MEPM is his involvement in the school, as well as the unity of students.
Everyone gets along great, and the kids go above and beyond. So that's why I like it here. You're not just, how can I say, permanent sub. You're actually a teacher. You're involved with the kids in the community, and also seeing the kids play sports and all the other activities that they're doing to bring each other together.
This new teacher stresses the importance of individuality, differences, and self-expression.
I think it's important that you try to put yourself out there. This past year in the fall was my first year coaching girls soccer, and also learning from the girls and also the community.
Mr. Ramsaroop has affected the community in various ways, leaving a positive impact primarily on the students. That's all for me. I'm Nikki Saraceni. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Nikki. It's really cool to learn more about Mr. Ramsaroop.
He seems like such a fun substitute teacher, and he's also the JV girls soccer coach.
He is? Mel, I think I might need some pointers because I'm going out for soccer in the fall if he's the coach.
That is a horrific idea, and I have a feeling that Jason Martin would agree.
Oh, he would he? In that case, let's throw it to Jason with sports.
I cannot believe that this is the last midweek update sports of the year.
Hey guys, it's that time of the year when the school year is heading out the door, but unfortunately the spring sports season must go away with it. So if you're missing out on high school sports, check out BMB Sports Talk on YouTube, but we still have pro sports to talk about it. So let's get into it. The Rangers took on the Florida Panthers last night in an electrifying battle. Now, even though the Knicks lost, and I don't really want to talk about it because they're not in it anymore, the Celtics are probably going to take it all this year. But I will still be praying to my savior, Jalen Brunson. Now, it's really early for me to start talking about baseball playoffs, but it is the best time of the year. And I would like to say the Yankees are going to have a sweep in the World Series, but they're probably going to get swept by the Dodgers, especially with Shohei Ohtani being on the squad now. And I think they're probably going to get a National League championship too. Now, thank you all to the seniors and wishing you well on your college journeys. That's all the time I have, so back to you guys in the studio.
I cannot believe that was the last midweek update sports of the year.
Neither can I, Mel. But if you're already getting sentimental, you're going to hate what's coming up next.
I know. As much as it hurts to say, our final BMB Senior is here, our very own midweek update producer, Brianna Boland. I'd say welcome to the show, Bri, but it's yours after all.
Thanks for having me.
So, Bri, what have these past 4 years in BMB been like for you?
These past 4 years of BMB have definitely been interesting. From being a freshman that had no idea what I wanted to do with my life to now being committed to the University of Pittsburgh for Film and Media Studies, it's just, this whole program basically showed me what I wanted to do with my life, and it basically confirmed that I wanted to be behind the scenes for media and such.
Wow. What are some of the biggest things you've accomplished during your time in the program?
A few of the biggest accomplishments that I've definitely had are some of the awards that I've received, like 3rd place STN for news, 1st place Best High School News Broadcast for Long Island Press, 3rd place National Merit for this show, actually. And this year, I actually have 2 awards that are finalists for the Long Island Press this year. But the biggest accomplishment that I have this year is becoming a producer, because I never thought in my life that I would be producing a show or even like our live streams, because like you think as a freshman that it's so like extreme and you don't think you can ever do it, but now that I'm a senior, it's like it's so easy.
That sounds absolutely amazing, and you have so many younger BMBers following your footsteps. So what's something you've learned during your time here and that will stay with you for the rest of your life?
Something I've learned, it definitely has to be trust your peers, because I've had moments where I didn't trust what my friends were saying or like my partners, but you gotta trust your peers to get stuff done, because if you don't trust the people you're working with, you're not gonna get it done. Because if you have a deadline and you don't trust the person, you are just gonna argue back and forth about what should be done. And if you don't agree, you will never get anything done if you never agree.
Yeah, I agree. Trust is really important. What was your favorite part of producing Midweek Update this year?
My favorite part is definitely working with the underclassmen, because I got to connect with them, I got to learn from them, and I got to teach them all the stuff that I learned in my past 4 years of BMB. I taught them how to use the TD, how to make graphics, how to be anchors on Midweek Update, because I actually got my start on Midweek Update as talent.
That sounds amazing. So what will you miss the most about BMB after this year?
It definitely has to be staying after school, because once I go off to college, I'll have nothing to do. I'll be sitting in my dorm room, probably sleeping or watching TV shows. But the actual thing that I'll really miss is the award ceremonies, because it's the connections you get to make, the friends you get to make, and it's just a very great experience.
Wow, thank you so much for coming on the show, Bree, and thank you for being a fantastic producer this past year.
thank you. But also thank you for being my last Midweek Update host for my Purdue senior.
This is absolutely crazy. Tina, it's the last Midweek Update of the year.
It's insane. I cannot believe that this time next year we'll be a junior and a senior.
Want to know what's even scarier? I'll be doing a senior interview too.
Well, Mel, I was lucky enough to host the last episode with you, and maybe I'll get lucky enough and be able to do your senior interview next year.
We can only hope, Tina. And for the final time of the 23 to 24 year school year, that's it for this week's episode of Midweek Update. We'll be back next school year with new stories from around the BMCHSD to bring you inside the parts of the community we don't always get to see. Until then, I'm Melanie Arcos.
I'm Christina Pena, and we're wishing you a very fun summer.
Yeah, I forgot.